A very good morning to all of you once again. Today, the topic for the morning talk is going to be 6 virtues of the Dhamma. That means there are 6 virtues of the Dhamma. If we go back to the triple gem, Tiratana, there are certain numbers for each, how would you say, gem. So if you take the overall number of the qualities, we can see that there are different numbers. Before we explore the numbers and all that, let's pay respect to the Buddha. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. Right. So, Buddha, the quality of the Buddha, I would say the gem called the Buddha has certain number of qualities. And then the gem called Dhamma has certain number of qualities, right? And the gem called Sangha has certain number of qualities. If I would ask you the numbers, would you be able to answer me? How many qualities are there in the Buddha? 9 great qualities. And then the Dhamma, as you can see, 6. And then the Sangha, again 9. So we call them as 24 qualities. Actually, the the level of qualities can go high up. But these are the very important dimensions of the triple gem. Ti Ratana. Right? Now when somebody from a non-Buddhist background is to come to a Buddhist monk or maybe to a monastery, what could be the, if that person wants to become a Buddhist, what could be the first step that a monk may do? It is to give the triple gem, right? Buddhang saranang gacchami, dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami, tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami. I go to the Buddha for my spiritual support. Now this refuge, the word refuge is like, I remember one monk was telling me in the US when he was explaining to maybe non-Eastern, non-Asian people about refuge. I go to the Buddha for refuge. Does that come from a background of refugees? Because they have a problem about refugees because those people are moving up from Central America, right? So, well, I mean, let's pick up a translation that might reflect what it is, because this is English. So we have no problem in switching on to a better translation. So I would say Sarana could be for our spiritual journey, maybe the journey to attain Nibbana. So this support, right? So you can't name it spiritual refuge. You can't say that. The word has a loaded meaning actually, right? So why is someone expected to go to the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha 3 times? It is to maximize the idea that without the support of Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, we are not able to follow the path, right? So we should have an enormous amount of saddha, the word that we discussed yesterday about Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha with an inquiry-based understanding. Our saddha should not be limited to a certain faith. Faith means you have to accept everything as it is. Although these are very valuable teachings, but we still try to understand with an inquiry about how these things work. So, Dhamma has 6 qualities, as you can know. First of all, let's take a look at the word Dhamma. What does Dhamma mean actually? Teaching. This is one meaning. Huh? And then, are there many other meanings for Dhamma? What could be the rest? Phenomena. Right? Any other meaning for Dhamma? Universal truth. Any other meanings about Dhamma? Are we talking about Dhamma or Dhamma? These are 2 words, right? Dhamma or Dhamma? Do you get what I mean? Huh? No. Then we have to understand that. Let's go and see it. Okay. I'll pick the blue one. Don't worry. Right? You can see a difference, huh? This H. There is no H. What would you think about the difference? You find this word somewhere in your readings. Could you think about where you found out this Pali term? You might be embarrassed if I say the place. Yes. Itipiso Bhagava Arahang Samma Sambuddhu Vichacharana Sampanno Sugato Lokavidu Anuttaro Purisa Dhamma Sarati. That actually here's something. Purisa. Purisa Dhamma. So this has to be actually then this gonna be making it a lowercase. So this Dhamma means taming, disciplining somebody. So Anuttaro Purisa Dhamma Sarati means the Buddha had a quality by which he tames the untamed. So these individuals are supposed to be untamed, like Angulimala, Alavaka. Then there are so many other non-humans, humans that he tamed down. It's supposed to be untamed. So the word Dhamma without H means taming down, curbing, taming down. But the way how you might pronounce could be the same. Dhamma is what we are discussing today, and then Dhamma. So every time when you say the second gem, Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, you say Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. People make the mistake for Sangha too. Sangha, say, Sangha and Sangha. it looks familiar and similar, right? So when you say Sangha, that is incorrect because there is a Pali word which goes by Sangha, but the Pali word that you are trying to say should be Sangha, the community. This Sangha, bonds, attachments, bonds, another Pali word. Now you see that you need to understand properly. So I'm not going to talk about Sangha. There may be another speaker who will be discussing this. But the same issue is with that. So when you pronounce, it has to be Sangha, not Sangha. Sangha means bonds. You can see here, a bond. Not the financial bonds, huh? It's the bond, attachment, bond that we are making with other people. Sangha is the community. Here, Dhamma means, mere Dhamma means taming. Taming. But this is what you call Dhamma that we are going to be discussing today. All right, so how are you supposed to pronounce this word? Huh? What is that? Dhamma. Dhamma. Because this is called aspirate. In English we call it aspirate. So you have to pronounce with the H. Dhamma. Like not Buddha. 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 Right? Not many people can pronounce properly. Because lack of reading probably their way of pronouncing. Like the Westerners say Buddha. Huh? Buddha. I mean, that's how they are supposed to say Buddha. Say Buddha, Sangha, Dhamma, right? All right, that's something to learn. And then something else that is interesting. Now, as I said, this. Sorry. So the word Dhamma, the Pali word Dhamma, has multiple meanings. There's somebody who did a PhD long time ago, probably early 90s, late 80s. The multiple meaning of the word Dhamma. I think the PhD is online. John Rose Carter. You might see. It's a good one actually. This is a PhD about the multiple meanings of the Pali word Dhamma. So now, the Pali word Dhamma comes from Dharma in Sanskrit, and then it is taken as Dhamma in Pali. As he did the study about the multiple meanings of the Dhamma, we do understand there are several meanings for this Pali word Dhamma. Now, I already heard from some of you some of the meanings. Let's talk about. One of the meanings is doctrine. Doctrine of whose doctrine? Anybody's doctrine. Now, we particularly take the doctrine of the Buddha here. But when you say Dhamma, say Buddha's Dhamma, here Dhamma could be anybody's doctrine. The doctrine of the Jesus Christ, the doctrine of Islam, the doctrine of Hinduism, the doctrine of Jains, doctrine of whoever, right? One meaning is doctrine. All right? Sacred, nah? The doctrine should be sacred. So, another meaning of Dhamma is, somebody said, universal truth. Universal truth. Yes, of course, most of the sacred teachings talk about universal truth. So the same teachings will be appearing as the what you call sacredness of the teaching, right? So that is something interesting to see. Another meaning of Dhamma is the nature. Now then we have to make it lowercase in order to take that the same word, but when you take the third meaning, it has to be the lowercase. So this Dhamma means, one meaning is the true nature of anything. Dhamma, Dhamma of my life, the true nature of my life. Dhamma of your life, the true nature of your life. Meaning, what's the meaning of the true nature of your life? If I ask you, what's the true nature of your life? My life is always subject to changes. I am subject to be reborn. In every life I am reborn, I am subject to age. I am subject to getting sick. I am subject to die. True nature. Nobody can bypass this nature. Even the Buddha could not bypass it. Right? He got sick, right? He could have spent longer, so he passed away when he was 80 years old. Right? He was sick. Right? So, true nature of anything. And somebody up here said phenomena. It's also this lowercase. Lowercase. Phenomena. What do you mean by phenomena? Events. I would say mental events. Whatever experience that you went through in your life, good experience, bad experience, neutral experience, they all can be categorized as phenomena. In other words, I want you to think about the place, the exact place where you understand this. Where do you see the idea of phenomena to Dhamma in the Pali text? Sorry? Yeah, anicca is the nature. I mean, where do you, now, you said that one meaning of Dhamma is phenomena. So can you see how this idea has been given in the text, Buddhist text? In Buddhism, whatever you say, you must have proof. Huh? Yes. I cannot talk just because I want to talk. Huh? Niyama comes under, as she said, universal truth. Here, universal truth. Utu bija dhamma kamma chitta. Now we are talking about the phenomena. So how do you say that the Dhamma also has the meaning of phenomena according to the text? Could you tell me how many sense faculties we have? Okay. Chakku, sota, gana, jivha, kaya, mana. Eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, mind. What about the objects that will be taken by these sense faculties? Other side. Let's go to Pali. Rupa, Saddha, Gandha, Rasa, Pottabha, Dhamma. There you see phenomena. Let's see the what do you call then here Chakku, Sota, Gana, Jivha, Kaya, Mana. Chakku, Sota, Gana, Jivha, Kaya, Mano. These are the sense faculties. Then objects which are taken by these senses. Chakku, Rupa. Then Sota means Saddha. Saddha? Saddha. I'm trying to complicate it. It's a Saddha. Gana, Rupa Saddha, Gana. Then Jivha, Rasa. Kaya, Pottabha. Then our most important part. Dhamma. Here Dhamma or Dhamma? Dhamma. We normally call it Dhamma. This is the idea of phenomena with regard to the Pali word Dhamma. Now, Chakku means piece of eyes. Huh? How many eyes do you? Number 5. Pottab. Touch. Eyes. Then the images. Yeah, Rupa. Sota means ears, sounds. Saddha. Saddha. Ghana, nose, gandha. Smell. Jivha, tongue, rasa. Taste. Kaya, body, pottab. Pottab means touch. Not kata, right? Kata. And then here, mano, mind. Dhamma means thoughts or phenomena. Interesting, right? So this is the context where you have to say that the lowercase Dhamma has a meaning of phenomena. Come back again here. Phenomena. Are there any other meanings other than these 4 for Dhamma? We talk about doctrine or teachings. Here we talk about the universal truth. Here we talk about the true nature of anything. Here we talk about phenomena, that context. Any other meaning? Okay, these are the main meanings for the Pali word Dhamma. Now, as you brought up, there is something that we can talk about. The Pali word Dhamma in the context of universal truth. Right? The Buddha says that all our experiences are not happen through karma. Very interesting, right? A lot of people, maybe Buddhists, who don't have a thorough understanding of how many experiences happen in our life, simply blame for their own karma, which is incorrect. Because in many suttas, Buddha says that karma may be the larger, bigger cause of our past experiences, but there are a lot of other things that must have happened for us to experience results thereof. So, if you see many suttas, Sivaka Sutta, actually the Utu Bija Dhamma Kamma Chitta Niyamas come in the Abhidhamma, they are not coming in the Sutta Pitaka, but Sivaka Sutta, Girimananda Sutta, have you read the Girimananda Sutta? There was a monk who was severely sick, and then Bhante Ananda informs the Buddha that Bhante Girimananda is so sick, can you do something for him? And then Buddha said, I will teach you 10 perceptions, Dasa Sanya. You go teach him or chant. So under one Sanya, we call it, there's one particular Sanya, Buddha talks about different things that must have led somebody to experience. Even Visama Pariharaja Abada, which means the wrong use of things. Somebody goes to a gym and trying to lift weight without warming up. Then what will happen at the end of the day? He or she live and go back home, and then at night, muscles having a severe ache. Why? He did not or she did not properly follow the guidelines of using those weights. That means probably you are not properly sitting. Then at the end of the day, you're getting some back pain. Those unwise Buddhists are calling my karma, right? My karma, my past karma.
The Dhamma A at the end, is there a strong bottom?
This one? No, this is long A. Long A.
So what about this one?
Yeah, this is short A. But because we are saying the same word, but we are saying the phenomena, we have to make it in plural, singular plural, but the same word. Right? Like Buddha, Buddha. One Buddha, many Buddhas. Right? Same idea, right? The difference is between the singular, plural context. All right. So this must be discussed a little bit in details before we jump into the 6 qualities. Universal truth. So even in many sutta references, we find out lots of things about the universal truth. As you can see, especially from the suttas like Arya Pariyesana Sutta in the Majjhima Nikaya, Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta in the Samyutta Nikaya, Saccavibhanga Sutta in the Majjhima Nikaya, we understand that Buddha's main emphasis, his main discovery was bringing the true Dhamma. Because there is untrue Dhamma, fake Dhamma, that was prevalent even at that time. Right? Even today, you can see there is there are lots of thoughts about fake Dhamma. Right? You know, like there are people who are making quotes, social media quotes, and then putting the Buddha's name, Buddha. What you think you become. It's not exactly told by the Buddha. Somebody else told it. But if you look at the Buddha's teachings, you might find out such an idea. But it was not given by the Buddha. What you think you become, the Buddha. It's a fake quote. And people share it. Right? There are many other such things, even some wrong ideas also. So we have to have certain context to find out the meaning. So in the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta and many other suttas, Buddha was trying to give us the ultimate truth. The ultimate truth is what he found out, the Noble Eightfold Path. Right? All right, so I think you already must have a good understanding about different meanings of the word Dhamma. Is this the first time you hear these different meanings of Dhamma? Very interesting. Now I want you to tell me how many meanings you already learned for Dhamma. First, we separated out a very interesting place. The 2 words, Dhamma and Dhamma. Dhamma is about taming. Dhamma is what you call by this proper Pali word. Even when we talk about Dhamma, there are multiple meanings. We have 4 meanings already. Yeah? Doctrine of somebody, sacred doctrine, and then the universal truth. Not every sacred doctrine is about the universal truth. Some are partial truths. And the universal truth, and then here, true nature of anything. And then here, what you call phenomena. All right? Let's go back then to our discussion. So you're asking what could be the difference between universal truth and phenomena. Universal truth is a sacred teaching. Sacred teaching of anybody. Now here, of course, the sacred teaching of the Buddha in this context. Somebody can call the sacred teaching of someone else. Phenomena means thoughts, mental events. Thoughts, your own thoughts. I have a thought of lust, I have a thought of anger. Your thoughts. Thoughts.
It's related to the
Mano.
5 aggregates.
Yes, in a larger, broader context, because if you see the 5 aggregates, let me draw that too. 5 aggregates, we call 5 khandha. You see, Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana. Now, where is the mental part over here? This is the only Rupa part. And then these four relate to the mental part. What do you call? Nama. Nama Rupa. So then, all our mental events are part of the Nama part. Vedana, Sanya, Sankara, Vinyana. So when you say Dhamma, phenomena, I would say mental events, thoughts, Vedana, Sanya, Sankara, Vinyana, they are all representing Dhamma, but not Rupa. All right? Okay. Yes. Some doctrines can be considered as partial truths. Now, if I take an ancient example, during the Buddhist time and before the Buddhist time, there were very famous six teachers. Remember? Six heretics. We call them heretics, but they are very famous, popular teachers who had lots of students. So, if I look at their philosophies, teachings from Buddhist perspective, for me, their teaching has not covered the whole reality that I see through Buddhism. So, I call it as a partial truth. Right? It's like a kind of a black and white understanding about something, right? Because there might be a gray area of the problem, right? That's why I call it partial truth. Because when you see from Buddhist perspective about other philosophies, you might feel that they may be partial truths. All right. Interesting, huh? Now we are going into the 6 virtues of the Dhamma. All right. Can somebody tell me what they are, what the 6 qualities are of the Dhamma? Swakhatu. I will have to write them too. Huh? Is it okay if I erase? Okay. On my blog, I haven't done this way. Maybe you can write down now. Huh? 6 virtues? Yes, I'm going to write now. Haven't thought so. maybe in the future, yes. This is exclusively for you. Novitiates and then the upasikas. Okay. 6 qualities. 6 qualities, of the Dhamma. Okay, very interesting, huh? First one. What is the first one? Swakhatu. Swakhatu means the Pali word. Now let's understand the Pali words. Akkhatu. Akkhatu means expound. Okay. That is the famous translation, expounded. Any other translations too? Swakhatu. In case you have a problem in understanding some Pali, what you need to do is to go to the maybe digital Pali reader. Help you, huh? I hope internet is good today. Yeah. It's not that good. Right. Now this is for your own Pali readings, huh? Read. don't think it's good. No. The Wi-Fi doesn't work. Yeah, we had the same problem yesterday. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, it's gone. Yeah, see? You don't see any signal towers here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whoa. Anyways, there is a website. I mean, there are couple things you can do if you want to know what you call some meanings about certain Pali words. One is to go to the online Pali dictionary by PTS. This is the most scholarly place. This was added to internet a few years ago by the University of Chicago. And then next one is Digital Pali Reader. Okay, this is a good one. The nice thing with this website is that, let's say you find this Pali word under a sutta, you click on it, and then they will show a lot of information in the bottom. What is kaya? What are the other related things? It's interesting. But then the problem starts to come up. Then you don't know the proper context to match up with that meaning, like I said yesterday. Remember what I said yesterday? One Pali word may have 9, 10, 15, 20 meanings. So how do you exactly know that this is the meaning for this particular Pali word? Right? But anyways, I just tell you, if you want to really look up, these are very trustworthy websites, So akhato. So here, akhati. Akhati means that, what do you call? Explaining. You can also say expounding. Remember, when the Buddha wanted to give a certain reputation to Bhante Sariputta, Arahant Sariputta, he said the qualities that Arahant Sariputta has in terms of giving Dhamma. Achikkana, Desana, Panyapana, Pattapana, Vivarana, Vipajana, Uttanikam. 1, 2, 3. Achikkana. You don't need to write, just to Achikkana, Desana, Panyapana, Pattapana, Vivarana, Vibhajana, Uttanikam. I will tell you. Now, the Buddha wanted to explain the abstract of the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta on other occasion. Because Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta is not very explained about the truth. So then, the Satcavibhanga Sutta was given by Arahant Sariputta. So, before Arahant Sariputta was going to explain this detail, explanations about the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, the Buddha wanted to tell other monks the skillness, the skillful qualities that Arahant Sariputta has in terms of giving Dhamma talks. Actually, these are very interesting even for a normal Dhamma speaker. Now see Achikkana. Achikkana simply means explaining. Desana, giving or delivering. Panyapana, I would say trying to, label certain, maybe detail certain Dhamma things. Pattapana means establishing. Every Dhamma speaker is supposed to establish. Vivarana, I would say making commentaries. Vibhajana, divide. I would say analysis. Right? Analysis. Uttani Kamma means making deeper Dhamma shallow. Now, when you hear some Dhamma talks, you getting complicated with what you know already. that is a this quality of a Dhamma speaker. Dhamma speaker should be able to bring the people to the further level, next level of what they know. Maybe the audience also may have some issues. Maybe some people were born with issues in their life, so they cannot understand the Dhamma. They can listen to the Dhamma, they cannot understand. Maybe one karma, couple karmas in past lives are trying to trouble that person. Right? So, anyways, so swakato means well explained, or I would say, in other words, well expounded too. All right? How do we understand that though? There's a interesting Pali phrase that I can tell you. Adi kalyana, majje kalyana, paryosana kalyana. Sattaka sabhyanjana, kevala paripunna, suisuddha. This is interesting to understand this swakato. No space, huh? Adi kalyana. Adi kalyanang, majje kalyanang, pariyosana kalyanang. So, the Buddha's Dhamma that he expounded to us is complete. I mean, it's well at the beginning, it's well in the middle, it is well at the end. I mean, you don't need to cover up, you don't need to fill up anything when he gave a Dhamma talk, when somebody gave a Dhamma talk. Because sometimes when some Dhammas are actually taught by some people, I mean, probably non-Buddhist too, you might see that there are issues. You may have to fill up at the beginning of that Dhamma talk, in the middle, and at the end. But because the Buddha's Dhamma is well expounded, there's nothing to fill up at the beginning, in the middle, at the end. It's well done.
Some explain as you differ in beginning, you differ in the middle.
Bad translation.
That's bad translation, correct?
That's bad, but they are referring to this. But it's not literal, it's contextual translation. It's
So it means complete, is it?
complete at the beginning, complete in the middle, complete at the end. That means if you understand minor Dhamma things, minor Dhamma teachings, a moderate level of Dhamma teachings and deeper Dhamma teachings at different times, there's nothing to fill up, saying that there is a certain area that Buddha had not touched. So all are complete. But be careful, do your inquiry. I mean, this is just to understand, because we are not able to probably understand this level, this nature, because we are not enlightened people. This has been given from an enlightened people's perspective. So we might think, maybe there is a certain area that needs to be filled in, right? So, Adi Kalyana, Majje Kalyana, Pariyosana Kalyana. Then, Sattaka Sabhyanjana. The meaning is clear. Sattaka. Sattaka means the meaning is clear. If you read any Dhamma paragraph in any sutta, you would see that if you really have a good Pali knowledge, the meaning is super clear, called Sattaka. Then Sabhyanjana. Sabhyanjana means there are required phrasing in terms of certain teachings. Now, when the Buddha was explaining certain teachings, the Buddha used certain phrasing. Without those certain phrasing, people don't understand. So, because the Dhamma has those certain phrasing, we call it Sabhyanjana. Then Kevala Paripurna. Now, this, what you call the phrase that I am reading now is given in many suttas. Huh? In many suttas, you can see that. Kevala Paripurna. Absolutely complete. There's nothing to, there is nothing to add. Now, when you look at Dhamma like this, if there are the books available over there, there's nothing to add. Buddha did not talk about this aspect, that aspect. It's absolutely complete, paripurna. Finally, parisuddhang. Now, even somebody might call that his or her own Dhamma. Maybe their own teacher's Dhamma is Adi, Majje, Pariyosana, Sattaka, Sabhyanjana, Kevala, Paripurna. Now, there is an issue with Parisuddha, purification. Because the Buddha's teaching is all about purification. What purification? The body purification? Purification of thoughts. You don't have to purify your mind. What are you going to do with the purification of the mind? Thoughts. Mind is just a faculty. You are going to purify your Dhamma. In other words, Chittanupassana. How did the Buddha ask to purify? Purify your thoughts. Right? Sabba papassa akaranam kusalassa upasampada sa chitta pariyodapana. Chitta. You are going to purify your thoughts. Mind, there is nothing to purify. It's just a sense faculty. Right? It's just a, so you are going to purify your lustful thoughts, angry thoughts, deluded thoughts, angry thoughts, jealous thoughts, phenomena. All right. Then parisuddha means extremely purified. If you really want to learn more about purification in the Buddhist teachings, there is one sutta called Rata Vinita Sutta. It's also Vinita, Bhante Vinita's name is there. Vinita. This Vinita is actually discipline. This is a sutta in the Majjhima Nikaya. This sutta talks about the purification in lots of details. We have to purify we have to purify us from the sila, chitta, ditti. There are 7 types of purification. So if you want to know more about the purification, parisuddha of the Dhamma, go check this out. Rathavin Sutta. All right. Now, as you can see, Swakkhato means that Buddha's Dhamma is well expounded because of these reasons. Kalyana, Majje Kalyana, Pariyosana Kalyana, Sattaka, Sabhyanjana, Kevala Paripurna, and Parisuddha. Make sense? Then, what is the next quality? Now, this is the general nature of the Dhamma. Then the rest of the qualities are inherent qualities of the Dhamma. This is the general quality of the Dhamma. The rest, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, those qualities are inherent ones. So we're going to be looking at them. Swakkhato Bhagavata Dhammo Sanditthiko. Sanditthiko. Can you see some translations over here? Can you translate this? Can you understand some Pali words here? Sang means good. Dittika means seeing. Ditti means seeing. We use seeing. If you learn some Dhamma teachings in the way of understanding Pali words, it is pretty easy to understand. Now, see next time. Su-akkhato. Su-akkhato. Su means well. Akkhato means expounded. Then when it is combined, Pali words are always combined. Why is it? Pali language has been always come to us in oral tradition. So the senior monks didn't like to go by a lot of words. So they always combine words together just for the easy memorization. So su-akkhato became swakkhato. Su means well. Akkhato means expounded, given. So next time you see, akkhato is expounded, su became swa, that means well expounded. Very easy to understand. Here, once again, sandittiko. Dittika means seeing. Sang, it has to be well seen by us. Sandittiko. How to do that? What are we going to see? We have 9 things. Sotapatti magga, sotapatti pala. Sakadagami magga, sakadagami pala. Anagami magga, anagami pala. Arahanta magga, arahanta pala, arahanta. We call them 9 things to experience in this life. Is Buddhism for next life? No. Not for those devotees are expecting, may I be reborn in heaven, That is their only wish that they are trying to make. So, if they have that thought, then they are not getting benefited with the second quality of the Dhamma. So, Buddha says the Dhamma's benefit is mainly for this life, to become a Sotapan. Sandhiti. So you have to see it. So it is well seen. So you have to well see that benefit. How to well see? You practice your own Dhamma thing and try to become a Sotapan. So you have to see. What you have to see? You have to see the truth. Right? Yatha bhuta jnana dassana. Right? Yatha bhuta jnana dassana. Yatha bhuta. We call yatha bhuta. This reality. Right? So when you see, using the Dhamma, you are able to see the yatha bhuta of everything. Life, other people, problems, negativities, emotions. You are able to see everything because of the Dhamma. This is what you are going to see, the yatha bhuta of that. Sandittika means this Dhamma is not for future life primarily. Definitely it will be for future life too, but mainly it is for this life. If it is for this life, you have to do something. You have to practice the Dhamma and then to see the reality and then to become a Sotapanna at the very least. Sandittika. Self? Yeah. That means when you see the truth, then you becoming a realized person. But that is not a direct translation. It's a contextual translation. Yeah. Oh, these are Vandana books, chanting books. People translate their own ways. Yeah. Sandittika. Then Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Sandittiko. Akaliko. Can you see the meaning of this Pali word in your Pali readings? Kalika and akalika. Kalika means time specific. Then when it is preceded by a, time unspecific. You cannot make a particular time for the benefits of the Dhamma. Right? What is the translation given by that book for that? I mean, to the Akalika? Now see, lots of issues. Now leave this out. I mean, I'm talking about the internet translations. Now this will be going to a normal devotee who might not know how to search that. What about that understanding? People just look it up. Those internet Buddhists. Internet Buddhists. So they will be going into further issues. So here, Akalika means the Dhamma is time unspecific. That means it's universal. Now, when did the Buddha talk about these things? 2,600 years ago. What a long period is that? Can you change any of the Dhamma teaching that you see in the text? Can you change?
No.
Is there any Dhamma teaching that has some implications with the modern world?
Yes.
There are. What Dhamma teachings are they? Well, I mean, they are already discussed in different suttas, in different terms. So there's nothing to worry about things, thinking that the Buddha did not address those particular issues. So the teaching of the Buddha is time unspecific. That means universal. It is universal.
All the time is sensitive means that's applicable unlimited time.
Yeah, universal. Universal means any time. Right? Now the word universal has been used by many people. Huh? Even those people who want to buy a charger, can I buy a universal charger? Universal charger. So that means this charger can be used with any gadget, any maybe Android, iOS, anything, right? Universal, that means that word has been gone to many things. So here universal means time unspecific. That means there's no, so you cannot say it was only for the Buddha's time. But there are, yes.
I see the Chinese translation here. In fact, one more thing, it is not restricted by the time and the space. So it's
Yeah.
space.
There's no meaning for space over here. You can take the, yeah. There's no meaning to the space. So universal mean space is included too. Let's say, because Dhamma teaching is for everybody. Everybody who is living in any place. So that means space is implied already. Yeah, infinite. So it is included. Space, different people, different timings. Mainly timing, because it doesn't matter what space is that. What matters is the timing. Because we've been actually passing lots of periods so far. All right. So akalika means timing. No specific timing. But have you found out certain Dhamma teachings, maybe some of the Buddhist teachings, where you have some issues in understanding the modern context? One thing people might be confused is that only a male can become a Buddha. Where was it given? In one of the books called?
Is that true?
That's what I'm asking, and I'm going to talk.
It's frightening, isn't it? Bhante?
Yeah. That is given in the Buddha Vansa, one of the Kuddaka Nikaya books. That's why I'm calling one of the books called Buddha Vansa. There are 15 books, Kuddaka Nikaya. This is not, according to us, this is not directly early Buddhism. Yes. But what they say is that no one is permanently a female or a male. Buddha talks about a sansara, not one life. Right? Yeah. So that is how we have to take it. Not approving what that says. So we have to understand that from a context, by rationalizing, by understanding the specific context. Any other teachings you have found a little bit confusing?
Bhante, would you suggest that we try to stick to certain
Yeah.
Bhante, would you suggest that we look at the complete picture?
Yes. It works, huh? Mm-hmm. Yes, keep talking.
Would you suggest, Bhante, that we stick to the original teachings and, rather than keep investigating, then it will create more confusion?
No, I'm trying to tell you, like yesterday,
Or use both
what is supposed to be the true Buddhism, early Buddhism, that is the first four Nikayas, Diga, Majjhima, Samyutta, Anguttara. Kuddaka Nikaya and the rest, we are normally taking not as the early Buddhism, not early Buddhism, we cannot say it, not true Buddhism. So early Buddhism is what we discuss from the first four Nikayas. Even in the first four Nikayas, we may find certain places to be a little bit different, certain places. One issue is that there are some suttas, because the suttas have been coming to us from monks, right, lately. many senior monks. So when the monks from lower caste became monks, they were trying to attack the Brahmins. Even in their preservation of the Dhamma, there are certain, not everything, certain tiny places. That again brings us to say, please follow a good teacher. Do not just go to read suttas alone, because the teacher will tell you these slight things. But for the time being, what I say is early Buddhism is the place that you have to follow. Anyways, Akalika means time unspecific, that means universal. Dhamma is universal. Everybody can be benefited anytime, anywhere in the world. We don't call world, universe, right? Then, Swakkhatu, Bhagavata Dhammo, Sanditthiko, Akaliko, Ehi Passiko. Now, I want you to understand these Pali words. Ehi means? Ehi? Come. Ehi means come.
Come and experience.
Huh?
Come and see it. Or come and experience.
Yeah. Passiko means? Come and see. First you have to see. Yeah? So, come and see. What does it mean? This Dhamma is invited for inquiry. This Dhamma is invited for an open discussion. Nobody can cover up anything. So, it has to be very, it has to be open to anybody. It has to be open to anybody. Now, when you go to certain religious places, you have some, you may experience some prohibitions. You cannot go as such. But if anybody wants to come to a Buddhist temple, we have to allow them to come and practice. We cannot say you are not a Buddhist, you are from another religion. So, because Buddhism should be open to anyone. Ehi Passiko, come and see. If you don't like, you want to go back. You don't want to follow. Because when many people came to see the Buddha, non-Buddhist people, they were very happy at the end of the Dhamma talk. Then they made a very interesting statement. Abhikkantam bo Gotama abhikkantam. Excellent, excellent. And then what are the ways that they explain their happiness? Ukkujjitang va anikujjaya, paticcannang va avivaraya. Bhante, it is like that. I was lost on my way and then you showed me the way out. And ukkujjitang va anikujjaya. It is just as there is a pot that was actually moved downward so that the water is not retaining, and then you, just as you made it upward, so now the water can be retained. Andhakareva telapajyotandareya. It is just as somebody lights a candle in the darkness, can see the surrounding. So I'm so happy about it, Dhamma talk. So Bhante, I want to become a follower. I want to make a big procession, pageant. I'm a business guy. I want to show my people that I became a Buddhist today. Buddha said, no, you don't need to do that. You follow your religion. You follow this one too. You follow your Hinduism, the Brahman things. You also follow whatever I said if you want. Such a very humble way of looking at the perspective. So, Ehi Passiko. Buddha had this idea, Ehi Passiko. That means as Buddhists, our way of responding to non-religious people should be very humble. We don't need to say, celebrity became a Buddhist. People are so happy, and then this person became a Buddhist. So we are Buddhists too, because celebrity was Buddhist. I mean, so you want to say that. See, we Buddhists are shrugging off. Right? So we don't need to be so, because we are humble. It's a very free, open-minded inquiry. Ehi Passiko. Then, Opanaiko. Opanaiko. Any Pali word that you understand over here? Upanetabba. This Pali word normally comes Upanetabba. There's a grammatical change that has happened. That means, now, what will the Dhamma be doing to you during your practicing Dhamma? Dhamma will take you to Nibbana, right? So that means you have to always think that this Dhamma will induce you onto the Nibbana. That means your main purpose is attaining Nibbana, but when you follow, when you learn Dhamma, you have to understand the ultimatum is Dhamma bringing me onto the Nibbana. So, Upanetabba. So, that should be something that you should have all the time in your mind. Upane. Then, final one, a little bit longer. Swakkato bhagavata dhammo sanditthiko akaliko ehi passiko opanayiko. Pacchattam veditabbo vinyu he T, we don't need T. Pacchattam veditabbo vinyo heti. What is the translation in the chanting book for this?
I'm not very sure because you have to be attained by the wise. Is this under or unequal?
No, that is this. All right.
To be attained by the wise, each for himself.
Pacchattam. Pacchattam means each. That is true. Each. So, now you may listen to Dhamma, you learn Dhamma, you might memorize your Dhamma, but the most important thing is that you have to understand the Dhamma individually. You have to become a wise person in order to understand the Dhamma. This means Dhamma will take us to wisdom. It does not take you to mere knowledge if you practice it properly. Right? Now there are a couple things to understand. We know knowledge. Then intelligence. Then wisdom. A lot of people are struggling with their own practice with these two attached to the Dhamma, intelligence and knowledge. So, wisdom means something more than intelligence and knowledge. It's not the mere knowledge, it's not the mere intelligence. Dhamma is for the wise people. Now, there's a wrong quotation spreaded by many some time ago saying Buddhism is for intelligentsia. Have you seen that? Buddhism is not for intellectuals. Then all these intellectual people will should be taken as Buddhist, really following the true Dhamma. Dhamma is for wise people or people who want to become wise one day. Wise potential, so already wise people. Now, if you are a wise person, then you will experience, practice Dhamma individually. Pacchattam vitabbo. Then you will know the Dhamma individually. Actually, it is true. When you sit down as a group, your knowledge, intelligence, Dhamma going beyond these two, and then you're becoming a wise person, and then you will experience Dhamma individually with your personal life. Take the mic, the small one, yeah. Yes.
Bhante, you said it is to be experienced, okay? In other words, we have to listen whatever that is presented from a source that is reliable. Otherwise, there would be much more confusion, isn't it?
Well, you may not be able to sometimes change the Dhamma speaker.
Of course.
Right? You just go and listen.
Yeah, of course.
And then you will learn what is necessary for your Dhamma journey.
Correct.
Yeah, so then ultimately, what you are supposed to do is understand the true Dhamma with your personal life, personally. Pacchattam vetabbo vinyoti. So you have to become a wise person to do so. Then I want to ask you about this Pali word, vinyu. What does vinyu means?
I don't know.
Have you ever found out this Pali word in other places? Have you not? Are you sure? You will be embarrassed again, huh? Huh? Isn't it? Have you never found out that Pali word, Vinyu? You might do a very quick reading, huh? Your chanting book, huh? Not find out very fast. Nacha kuddang samachare kinchiyena vinyu. Nacha kuddang samatare kinchiyena vinyu pare upavadiyo. Where is it? Karaniya metta sutta. You are chanting every day. Huh? Every day chanting. Don't understand, don't also remember. Right? This is the issue. That's why I'm telling you, it's very important to learn. Nacha kuddang samachare kinchiyena vinyo pare. That means we should never make even a slight mistake that is not regarded as a good thing by the wise people. Now, then again, we have to go to study about wise people. Who are these wise people? Same like Kalyana Mittas, like I told you yesterday. People who always think good thoughts, people who always speak good words, people who always act with the good actions. They are the Vinyus. Can you easily find out such a person? Who always speaks the truth, who always want to bring people together, who always want to talk good words, pleasant words. Huh? Very hard to find. Very hard. But there may be such people too. We don't know. Right? So that is so never ever disturb a Vinyu, wise person, because if the Vinyu does not seem happy with your practice, that's not a good sign. Remember, I will tell you one good story. There is a sutta in the Anguttara Nikaya or Samyutta Nikaya. There was a horse trainer came to see the Buddha. Horse trainer, training horses. His name is KC. KC. Not KC, yeah? KC. KC. When KC came to see the Buddha, KC asked the Buddha, Bhante, I see you have lots of monks in this temple. I feel like they are very disciplined. How do you train them? Right? Now you are being trained too, right? How do you train them? Then the Buddha said, I advise them, right? So they are getting disciplined, so they learn through a lot of things, and they are learning for some time, so they will become disciplined, very good monks, monastics. Bhante, what about a monk who is not going to be disciplined, who does not follow your advice? What would you do for that monk? Then, actually, the Buddha asked the same questions from him first. So he said, Bhante, I am training horses, and I train all the horses this way, that way. And then the Buddha asked, what if that there is a horse that is not going to follow your advices? There's one horse. Then he said, that's a futile waste for me to pay attention to this particular horse. I'm going to kill that horse because I don't have time to take care of the horse. Then KC, horse trainer, asked back the same question. The Buddha said, I also discipline monks, novices, this way, that way. And then KC asked, what if there is a monk who is not getting discipline in your advice? I am also killed that monk. Yes. Then the KC was like terrified. No, you're not supposed to kill monks. I am not killing monks or nuns in the way that you kill your horses. I stopped giving them advices from that day. So they are already dead. I saw you went to the chief monk in the morning taking an advice every day. Huh? Good advices. If a very good Kalyana Mitta, wise person stops talking to you, you feel your whole world, as if your whole world would break into pieces. You don't get those good advices anymore. Right? He said, I will stop giving advices. So Vinyu is such important. Kalyana Mittas, Vinyus, right? All right, we are almost, the timing. And so these are so here what we have to understand is that you have to become a wise person to get the most of this Dhamma. By being a wise person, you have to understand Dhamma individually. So, Pachattam. That means when you understand the Dhamma individually, you will learn the Dhamma in a hands-on experience way. That is much approaching, helping, supporting your Dhamma practice. Any questions about these 6 or whatever the things that I've been discussing? Huh? Open Naiko. Open Naiko means now you have to use the Dhamma. You have to use the Dhamma. Oh, I would say Dhamma is inducing you, helping you to helping you to achieve Nibbana, attain Nibbana. So Dhamma's main purpose is to bring you to Nibbana, the true Dhamma. So you have to understand that while you are learning Dhamma, while you are practicing, while you are listening to Dhamma talks, you have to understand whoever the monk is giving a Dhamma talk, whoever the lay speaker is giving a Dhamma talk, the main purpose of Dhamma, not that person maybe, main purpose of Dhamma is to bring us to Nibbana. So that is called open Aiko. Yes. First hymn.
I have a question about.
Mhm.
I have a question about the sutras.
Mm.
Sutras.
Yes, suttas.
When you begin in learning the sutras, where you have to start, because there are so many.
Very good question.
Which ones you have to choose?
Yeah. Is it okay if I erase this part?
Yeah, okay.
You are asking me a sutta study question. Huh? Where to come for our sutta study? Right. Okay. How many suttas are there in the canon? Now, Sutta Pitaka. Sutta Pitaka. Sutta Pitaka. Then there are 5 Nikayas, but we don't go to 5th one. Calling, it has lot of later additions. We only go to the first 4 primarily. Diga Nikaya, Majjhima Nikaya, Anguttara Nikaya, Sangyutta Nikaya. Did the Buddha know these Nikayas? Huh? Did he know? Now you say, this sutta is from Anguttara Nikaya. What is that? Huh? He didn't know anything about this thing. So what is this classification then? This was the classification given by the senior monks after the first council. They want to understand the repository of the Dhamma, the database. We call it a database. They gave names: long suttas, middle length suttas, numerical suttas, Buddha talk in numbers, Anguttara, Buddha talk, Sangyutta means the sections for different people. Dhamma teachings given by the Buddha for certain people. Like, I will go back again. Diga means very long suttas. There are 34 long suttas, very long ones, starting from, what was the first sutta? Brahmajala. Brahmajala, very long sutta, 62 views at that time. And the Majjhima Nikaya, middle length, not too long, not too short. There are 152 suttas. Anguttara, if my memory is correct, 7,762. Samyutta Nikaya 9554. Now, where to start? Very good question. Where to start now? Let me tell you, this Nikaya has teachings which were about numbers. Now the Buddha said, there are two stupid people, two wise people, they all in the Anguttara Nikaya. There are 5 Dhamma things about some. There are 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 like that. Samyutta means teachings the Buddha gave for different people. For the kings, we call them Raja. Paribrajakas, right? Also, there are teachings, most importantly, for particular Dhamma sections. Now, every teaching about Sotapanna is under Sotapatti Samyutta. All the teachings about Bojjangas, they are under Bojjanga Samyutta. Very interesting. So now we have to get started. Should I get started from number 1? No, that's not going to work. Why is it? What was the Buddha's first sutta? Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. Where is it? Where is it in this classification? Majjhima Nikaya? Is Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta in the Majjhima Nikaya? Vinaya Tipitaka? Now I'm getting confused. Huh? It is not in any of the Nikayas? Really? Where is the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta? Now you know. It's in the Samyutta Nikaya. Yeah, Samyutta Nikaya. Now the problem is, if the Buddha's first discourse in the Samyutta Nikaya, this looks like a very messy compilation. It's not in the chronological, periodical order then, right? Then if the Buddha gave a first Dhamma talk and then slowly gave another Dhamma talks periodically, that could have been a good way to understand Dhamma, but we don't know how it happened. We only know Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. The most important thing that the monks paid attention to when they classify was the length, size, just to preserve it. But it has nothing to do with somebody's reading of the suttas in the proper way. Let me tell you, now as you ask, what suttas have to be read. I don't recommend to read all these suttas. That's not for you. That's not meant for you. And if you can read that. But if you really want to save your time, I think you all want to save your time. You have lots of work in your household, and you cannot do a lot. I mean, you don't need to waste your time. I don't think that when you read suttas, you are wasting time, but you are wasting on achieving certain levels of your Dhamma practice. That is a waste. Otherwise, you can keep reading like somebody who has lots of time. I would recommend to read Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta as the first sutta, because then you understand what the Buddha wanted to say to people, this whole universe. Start from there. Then there is another sutta after Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. You have to read about Alagaddupama Sutta. Alagad is Majjhima Nikaya. I think I have to search. Yeah, we have this internet problem again. Won't be able to find, but Alagaddupama Sutta, Majjhima Nikaya. Why do I recommend to read this sutta? This sutta is the only sutta, the main sutta that tells us how you should learn Dhamma. That means methodology. Now when you do a research, you have to say how you going to do the research, right? You're going to go here, you read these books. You got it. Yes, see. MN 22. This sutta. All right. MN 22. Majjhima Nikaya 22. After that, you can read. Now, this is Dhammacakka is the first one. Second one is Alagaddupama. Then you can read Satcha Vibhanga Sutta, which I already gave you. given you. And then Satcha Vibhanga. Satcha Vibhanga Sutta. Second one, Alagaddu Upama. First one, Dhammachakka, you know that. Satcha Vibhanga is Majjhima Nikaya 141. You can see here. 141, Majjhima Nikaya. Then I would recommend you to read Maha Chattarisaka Sutta. Very important one. This is the most important sutta about the Noble Eightfold Path. Maha Chattarisaka Sutta. I'll see the number. Majjhima Nikaya 117. 117 Majjhima Nikaya. Now, you know what Buddha really wanted to tell us and how should we follow our Dhamma journey, why we want to do it. And then the second sutta is talking about what you should know about the Dhamma, why you learn Dhamma, your limits of your Dhamma practice, and then where you should focus. And the Buddha said in this sutta, if you don't know how to read Dhamma properly, how to practice Dhamma properly, it is just as you trying to catch a cobra, either from the mouth side, head side, or from the tail side. On both occasions, you will be severely bitten by the cobra. In the same way, if you try to learn Dhamma without the proper guidance, the guidance that the Buddha gives in the Alagattu Sutta, you will be bitten by the Dhamma itself. I normally tell, if you don't know how to read, if you don't want to read, then don't read. Because then you will have a partial knowledge of the Dhamma, very inconsistent knowledge of the Dhamma. That's why you have to read Alagaduma Sutra for the methodology of the Dhamma, how to read, what to understand, what is the purpose of Dhamma. Everything is given in this Alagaduma Sutra. And then when you finish reading Alagatthuma Sutta, then you have to read a detailed sutta about the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta's matters. As I told you, Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta is not very detailed. It only gives the certain framework of the life, dukkha, and the Noble Eightfold Path. This sutta gives everything about the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta's explanation. Satcha Vibhanga Sutta. It's highly detailed, given by the Arahant Sariputta. Now, you are confused still, in the sense of, I want to learn, not confused, you want to know further details about the Noble Eightfold Path. Then you're going to read Maha Chattarisaka Sutta. This sutta gives you every path factor in the most proper way. And now you have a very good understanding about the Maha Chattarisaka Sutta, Noble Eightfold Path. Now you want to read about the meditation, mindfulness. Then you go to Satipatthana Sutta. Satipatthana. That should be, I think, Majjhima Nikaya 12. Correct. Yeah, Satipatthana Sutta. After reading these 5 suttas, have a break. Have a break. Have a break. And then reflect what you have been reading. Then you can go to other small suttas. The reason why I recommend you must have read these 5, because then you get the true, what you call, the main framework of Buddhism. If you haven't read these 5 suttas, you never know what the Buddhism is all about. Yeah. These are the what you call the most important foundations of the Buddhism. You know what it is, you know methodology, you know the detailed information about Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, and you know what the Noble Eightfold Path factors are, then you know what is mindfulness. Yes. Write it. I did not write because people know it. Dhamma Chakka Pavattana Sutta. This is Sangyutta Nikaya, I think 55 what? Huh?
Bhante, what is Satipatthana Sutta, the Majjhima Nikaya now?
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, let me give it to you. Number 10.
Number 10.
Number 10. Right? It's number 10. Number 10. Then you need Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta only, yeah? It should be Sangyutta Nikaya. Yes, I got it. 56:11. All right. This is for your sutta. You ask me what to read?
Do you have any writer that wrote this thing in this order? How do you write this?
I haven't written something like this. I mean, in a way that answering somebody's questions like him. But now you have it already, so yes. But I have individually written notes about Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta mainly. So you can go see my blog for each. I think I can show you. Let me see. If you go to my blog here, and there is a review place. Internet is very slow. Better the Vihara will think about it. Yes. Yeah, so there is a blog post that I say as a review, which Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta is a review, which has all the parts. I have been given 23, see, it's not working, 23, well, it took me around like 4 months to finish the sutta study here on Monday sutta study at BMV. Yeah, so I have given notes for every day, so that's a very detailed one about Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. So my every thought about Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta from other suttas and Dhammacakka Sutta itself have been given under those notes. But not Alagadubama, not Satchavibhanga, not Mahachattariyasaka. Also I have done lots of flyers, like posters you can see on the blog. Right? So there are links. And Satipatthana Sutta also, yes, there are certain flyers I have done. Because you will read, but after you reading, then you need a certain flyer, maybe kind of a diagram or something. So I have done that too in a certain way. Yeah. Maybe in the future I will be planning to do maybe a certain blog post about what suttas do I have to read, maybe how to start sutta study, something like that. So everybody can understand that, the same information but in a very more detailed way. All right, any questions about today? 6 qualities of the Dhamma. Actually, we have discussed many things about Dhamma. The word, Pali word Dhamma, the multiple meanings of the Pali word Dhamma, then what else? The 6 qualities of the Dhamma in many detailed aspects. Now we have ended up in learning Dhamma, how to learn even the Dhamma. That means what suttas do I have to read, as such. So if somebody wants to ask a question, you can bring the mic, the small one. Okay. Take the both then. Yes. My blog spot? You mean the name? Yeah, Patisota. Maybe patisota.blogspot.com. Yeah, here we have an internet issue, so that it is not, opening, but patisota.blogspot.com. Here we got it, Here we got it. That's good. This one. Now, say for instance, now the BMB Mandi Sutta study, I have started the second Sutta Sabbhasava. Final review. Look at it. This blog post. You click on that. You see, this is how I have given. So each link has many notes. Introducing the text of the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, introducing the Dhammasukkallikāna Yoga, Attakilamatthana Yoga, Noble Eightfold Path, Samma Ditti, Samma Sankappa, Vacha, and then all that. Review of the Noble Path, the first Noble Truth, second, third, fourth, Tiparivatta Dvadasakara of the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, Dhammachakku and the cry of deities in 6 heavens, cry of Brahmas and all that. Now if you click on one link, let's go to one link, Kamasukkallikāna Yoga. This will go to the second day notes of my sutta study. You can see here. See, Kama, what is Kama, Sukha, Allika, Anuyoga, right? And then Kama as a part of Anupuppikata. Yeah, so you have the very important, insightful notes. And if you click on another one, let's take Samaditi. Day 5. You can see Dassana, seeing like a Sotapanna but no Ditti. And then, introduction. Ditti before the Buddha, after the Buddha. Yeah, so you will see the most important notes. What is the connection between Ditti and Papancha? You will see all these notes. What is right view? When you click on this thing, see, it will take you to my flyers. That is interesting. Now it's coming. I have made some flyers for certain important teachings. So here, right view. Patisota means upstream. It's a Pali word. Our Dhamma journey in Buddhism is upstream, not downstream. Downstream is our normal Putujjana journey, like everybody go after sensual happiness. Everybody can do that, in different ways. But this journey is not that easy, right? So we go upstream. Now if you say, for instance, there is a river, maybe there is a water stream coming from top, water does not go up. So it is as if that you are going to cross the water stream upward. See, this is for the right view, see? This is the right view for unenlightened people, this is for the enlightened people. If you click on that, you can see. See, Maha Chatta, I have taken it from Maha Chattarisaka Sutta, that fourth one, Majjhima Nikaya 117. Right? All right. Yeah, so like that. All right, any other questions? Yes. You wanted to take the small mic too? Can you pass that small mic? Yes.
This is a question that I'm very curious.
Mm.
Just the other day, during the sessions, I heard a story saying that karma by parents will affect the children, right? So my question is that isn't that unfair? You know, and is it because the children is really meant to be the parents who do some suffering, that's why they become the child of the parents?
Was it a teaching given by another person, another Dhamma speaker?
Sorry, yeah, correct.
Ah, okay. Well, it is unfair, but say for instance, there is a blind family, mother also blind, father also blind. What do you think about the child who is going to be reborn into their life? Do you think that the child also must have done the same type of akusala karma in a previous life? So, according to Buddhism, it says the Janaka karma, your birth karma is karma. The reason of your birth is not other things. It's a major karma in a past life. So, it is unfair. Yeah, karma is unfair. Why not? The suffering that people are experiencing, they all are unfair things for us. Because we are happy, there is someone who is struggling to make ends, struggling to eat even the breakfast. Very unfair. Right? But the thing is that some of the bad karmas that these persons might have done in a previous life come up, especially in that blind family case. Yes, it is unfair if you look at it from this life. It might be the karma that person must have done in a previous life. That's what we understand. But as responsible people, we are trying to help out that child. We are trying to do something which is good for those children, those people. But the reason why they were born as such is a part of karma in a previous life. You have to keep in mind, every time you have good food, you eat well, you stay well, behind all these happiness there is a karma you must have done in a previous life. Nothing is ad hoc, nothing is random. You have done your own good karmas in previous lives. That's why you are enjoying, you are experiencing. But does it guarantee that you will be the same in a future life? Until you attain Nibbana? It is not guaranteed. So you have to do lots of good karmas until you attain Nibbana by not expecting future rebirths, but do more good karmas. Because you know that is necessary for you to be comfortable till you attain Nibbana. You need to be comfortable till you attain Nibbana. Otherwise, let's say you are a very poor person, you are barely making ends. How to think about something like Nibbana? Because your mind is always, I want to make money for today. That means for many people who are suffering, they can't even think about something more than having a comfortable life. That's why the Buddha said, do more good karmas. And for those people, let's say there are people who are suffering, we have to be compassionate, we have to help out them, all that. We don't care about their past good karma. We have to do our best. But why they became so is because of the karma. So we cannot simply say, this is unfair, this is fair, because of course, when people are suffering, it is unfair. That's how we have to take it.
Bhante, is everything due to karmic?
No, I already said that at the beginning.
I know.
Yeah, but most of the experiences are from past karmas, most of them. There are some that are not part of. Let's say that you go to a city area where there is torrential monsoon time. There is lots of raining. And then you are not taking care of yourself. You get wet. And then you catching a cold. Is it because of your karma? No, it is because of the utuniyama, seasonal changes. Ah. So there are many things that are not karma, but most of the things, especially the birth karma. Why are we such? There's one person who is very pretty, beautiful. The other person is not as such. There's one person who is very wise. Other person is not as such. There's one person who has lots of sicknesses, back pain, that pain, going to see the doctors all the time. But there's somebody who has no problem at all. So comfortable. There's somebody who is well respected by many others, but the other person who is not respected by other people. Why? Those could be part of the previous karma. That means you must have earned your karma from previous life. If you not, don't worry, do more good karmas in this life. You'll make it till you attain Nibbana. Alright, so we have another few minutes. If you have any questions, you can ask. How about our Samaneras in the back? Were you able to understand what we've been talking today? Anywhere, anything that you did not find clarity? Yes. You want to take the mic? The mic. Yeah. Yes. The other mic too. Yes. Yes, it's on. It is on.
Bhante, can you explain to us about marriage? Because a lot of people is like very emphasize or put a good attention in making marriage and transference of marriage. And actually, what is marriage? Is it something like a bonus, or can you explain to us?
It is encountering what? Encountering what? What you said at the end? It is?
Is it some kind of like a bonus that we can share to others, like transference of marriage?
That's a very good question. All questions are good, huh? I think that's a question. That's a question that is. Maybe I'm going to write something over there. All right. Okay. Right. Now he is asking to explain about the English word merit. What is the Pali word for merit? Pali word? Punya. Good. This is Punya. Punya. Punya means merit. Not merits. Merits mean punyani. Right? Plural. Merit. Then there is another word called kusala. Kusala. Right? The meaning is skillful activity or wholesome activity. People are struggling between these two. What people do is they do punya to get punya, merit to merit. But the Buddha said you have to do kusala. As a consequence of kusala, you attain nibbana. By doing kusala very well, what you get is merit. It is as if now it is a rainy day, somebody is going to water the garden. Is it necessary?
No.
It's raining a lot. So people don't have to make merits. People have to do kusala because punya is complementary. merit is complementary. If it is complementary, you don't have to buy it. If something complementary, if you go to a hotel, and then if you go to a hotel, there are things that are complementary, but you don't have to buy them, right? So people have to do kusala, not merit, because merits are what come as a result of engaging in the kusala activity. Now I will give you an example. Let's take the common example, dana. Somebody is going to offer dana. So go to the grocery shop, buy some grocery, make the food, now bring it to the temple. There are monks offering them. Now, before going to the grocery shop, during or while making the food, coming to the temple, by the time of offering, and after the offering, these are the 3 times of cultivation. Huh? What is more important? Cultivation is the most important thing, right? Because buying the grocery, making the food, these things can be done by devotees entirely differently. A rich person might buy a lot of rich stuff, a poor person might buy whatever affordable things, middle income person might buy accordingly. So, but doesn't matter. The most important thing is the cultivation part of the mind of every donor. Now, when the devotee goes to the temple and now going to offer, if the devotee is always thinking, I am offering this to the Sangha, what do you call, how many Sanghas do we have in Buddhism? How many Sangha? No, Sangha. Huh? 2? Who said 2? How many Sangha we have in Buddhism? 4. You might be thinking, who are they? Huh? You know the 2. Bhikkhu Sangha, monks. Bhikkhuni Sangha, then rest of the 2. Upasaka Sangha, Upasika Sangha. Upasaka, Upasika. So, it looks like the dress might not be important when categorizing Sangha in this. Huh? No, Samanera is not a bhikkhu, but Samanera is going to be a bhikkhu. So we can include them here under bhikkhu category. Sorry, let me, bhikkhu, bhikkhuni, yeah, the Sangha. No, I mean, when you see these 4 categories of Sangha, you might be sort of confused. Then it seems to be the dress might not be a problem to become a part of Sangha. Yes, it's not a problem. But when people offer things, they are only picking up these 2. Mainly Bhikkhu Sangha. But Sangha is a very, expanded category. So why did the Buddha say Upasaka, Upasika are also Sangha at a certain place? What about Vishaka? Take Vishaka. Vishaka is a Sotapanna, right? Then that means she is a Arya Savaka, noble person. So anybody who attains Sotapanna is what we call a bhikkhu is attained Sotapanna. Bhikkhu Sangha, Bhikkhuni Sangha, Upasaka. Any male being a lay person becoming a Sotapanna is called Upasaka Sangha. Any female attaining Sotapanna while being a lay person is called Upasika Sangha. If the lay person has not attained Sotapannahood, then only just a Upasaka, only just a Upasika. Right? Now, the devotee is going to offer dana. The devotee does not know the level of cultivation of the recipient. It doesn't matter also because we don't go and check whether you have attained this and that. That is an unnecessary question. And monks and nuns are not supposed to say anything about their cultivations. It is a big offense in their Vinaya. They cannot say. Only devotees can understand certainly, and it's not necessary too, because we are only concerned about our own practice while helping others. While offering dana, if the devotee thinks, today I am offering dana, by the power of this dana, may I be reborn in a heaven. May I have this and that. Bringing lots of worldly expectations attached to that dana. Then that will be, that's going to be a punya to punya, merit to merit, merit to merit. But there is another devotee who is bringing dana even before going to the grocery shop. Maybe you have to call the Vihara temple center that I'm going to give dana, so just to find a date. And then buying groceries, now offering. Every time she or he is thinking, I'm not thinking about my personal gains in the next life. I'm thinking, may I be, by the power of this dana, may I be able to give up lobha, greed attached to my money for this dana. I'm not attached to this money, and I really want to let this money go. And then may I have no anger, I have loving kindness towards the recipients. And I have kamma vipaka understanding, no moha, amoha. Dana, metta, wisdom. Dana, metta, panya. That's going to be kusala to punya. Wholesome, more skillful activity to merit. Now let me tell you the most important thing here. When you do a kusala, the merit is what you get. Merit is complementary. You are not supposed to expect anything because merit is automatically coming to you. It's like no need to water a garden when it is rain. So people are supposed to do kusala. Anybody. Because if you bring expectations, strings attaching to your future things, you are creating a punya. You get on. Actually, this is a limited version. If you do any activity through P to P, punya to punya, your result of the karma will be limited. But this is unlimited version. If you do with the kusala, whatever you get as a merit will be unlimited till you attain Nibbana. Make sense? So we have to ask devotees, don't need to make merits. Merits are complementary if you do any activity through kusala. So we have to ask them to do kusala. But because people don't know this kusala, they are asking, you have to do lots of merits. By doing so lots of merits, you can expect this and that, you can be reborn. So it's bringing them into bhava tanha. Yesterday we talked. So even the monastics, and they are all bringing people to bhava tanha sometimes. So that's not what the Buddha said. We have to bring them to kusala. When you do kusala, how to do kusala? When you do the dana, you are trying to give up your lobha, dosa, moha. When people are doing merits with the activity, they are thinking about what can I get for my future life. Lot of wishes for that dana. All right? That is why when you do a kusala, you have to be skillful. But when you are do a merit, you have bunch of thoughts going on about future things. All right? I think we are almost at the... It makes sense?
Yeah, can I have a follow-up question?
Yes.
I read somewhere before about karma. Karma is something like gravity or electricity. Even we cannot see, it still exists. Because people will ask before, who take notes or
Karma.
record our bad karma or good karma. So the explanation is that it's just like gravity. It exists, even we cannot see. So how about merit? Can you give a simile or example of merit?
In Buddhism, everything is impermanent. So there cannot be anybody who can oversee our karma. Karma is just an entity that is ever changing. Even let's say you do a very good karma by being a samanera for 1 week. This good karma, you might have a very static understanding. I became a samanera for 1 week, so I be getting this and that. But according to Buddhism, there are people who do a good karma and then will create some bad karmas attached to that later on. And there are some other people who do bad karmas who might think in a good way too, in different ways. So we cannot give an example, exact simile to this thing, but what I can say about karma is that karma is a changing entity. uh, which are really individualistic for everybody. So, how people make karmas could be in the form of kusala or in the form of merits. So that is what we have to be more focused on. And let me tell you one thing. In one sutta, Buddha said, there are 4 subjects that you should not overthink. One of them is karma. Because the maturity, how the karma works, cannot be properly understood. We cannot give one small example. Like these are some Dhamma speakers who are giving some ideas to people. But what I can say is that our own karmas are changing entities time to time. So they are working on their own, but you cannot say there is somebody who is overseeing that. Hinduism, they say yes, there is somebody who is overseeing your own karmas, but in Buddhism, no. So the nature of karma, we cannot give one particular example, but for the arahants, we can give an example. When then somebody asks, what will happen to an arahant? The Buddha says in the Ratana Sutta, Kīnang Purānang Navannatti Sambhavang Viratta Chitta Ayatike Bhavasming Te Kīna Bija Avirulhi Chanda Nibbanti Dira Yathayam Padipo. They have extinguished just as how a light blows out. When a candle blows out, can you tell somebody where did the light went? Which direction the light went? It might be the exhaustion of the wick or the oil, but you cannot say the light went to this area, that area. That is unpredictable actually. So what you can think is that our karmas are changing entities. Now the similar question can be asked by someone, how my karmas are going into the next life, isn't it? When you pass away, how your karmas are going to next life. That means there is someone who is going to the next life. Buddha said, no, there is not someone and there is not a different person. But this is a changing entity that is traversing from one life to the other life, taking the body of a new life. Make sense?
How about merit? Is there any supercomputer that records all the merits that we make?
There are no records because our merits are also always being changed. They are also always being changed. So, if you say there are records, then there should be a place. There is no such place because everything is impermanent. So, it is more likely now for example, in Abhidhamma it says, whenever you think any thought, your thinking has to go through 17 moments. Have you heard that? That is interesting. Huh? I think we are taking more time. I will finish with this thing. I think it's good. It's a very good answer to this question. In Abhidhamma, it says, now, when we are thinking, our every thought has to be registered. So there are 17 moments. Interesting, huh? Now let's say I look at this TV. The thought that I am coming up has to go through these 17 moments. But they say there are exemptions. Sometimes I cannot see the screen. Maybe I have a problem if I have. Maybe the screen is not proper. Maybe it's far away. Then a thought can be registered at 11 moments, 13 moments, 15. Now, the nice thing about this taking a thought, in order to have a thought, it has to go through all these moments. When I think, let's say I look at this TV screen, I look at you, my impression, whatever my attention that has to go to 17 moments has to start from our Bhavanga Vijnana. What is Bhavanga Vijnana? This is the Vijnana that came from my past life. This is the Vijnana the first 3 moments are pertain to the Bhavanga Vijnana. Okay, sorry. This is Bhavanga Vijnana. Now I have my own Vijnana now. The Vijnana in my this life. But let's say I see something, I smell something, I hear something, I touch something, I taste. Whatever the object that I am taking has to first go through the first 3 moments that are part of the Bhavanga Vijnana. Bhavanga Vijnana means my Sansarik Vijnana, which I have been experiencing in past many billions, millions of lives, which will go to next lives. That means where are the karmas then, our merits? Merits, our demerits, all are here. All in our mentality. That is why, there is a classic example, somebody gives you an essay. There is a teacher who is going to give an essay to children, school children. The topic of the essay is, do we separate disruptive students? Or do we have to bring them together to find some good things? Or maybe are disruptive students taught together or separately? So all the children are writing an essay, maybe 20 children. But you see 15, 16 students are doing the best. Right? They are scoring the best. But even you look at each essay, you still see the approach of different students differently. Why is it? They have scored the best, but their approach is different. Because when they think about the topic, the first 3 moments are attached to the previous life. This has your innovation, this has your productivity that comes from previous life. So what I can say is, if you are trying to specify a location of your merits, good karmas, we have to say it is inside this Bhavanga Vijnana, that is inside of our life at the moment. It is not recorded outside of our body. All right? Okay. I think we have to now finalize, because I have to fly today afternoon.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So, thank you for listening. At the same time, I hope that you've been learning a lot of things about the Dhamma, the word Dhamma, and the multiple meanings of the Dhamma. At the same time, 6 qualities of the Dhamma, and how to do a sutta study, how to understand different Dhamma concepts. May all these good karmas be transferred to all the departed ones. And let's say, may they be well and happy, may they attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. May all the good karmas be shared by all the Deva, Naga, Mahedika. May they be well and happy, may they protect all of you for good health, quality of life, prosperity, safety. In particular, may they bless your Dhamma journey. May the Deva, Naga, Mahedika also attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Also, we have to make this as a special mention all the time. May we be in the company of the Kalyana Mittas till we attain the Nibbana. Because without Kalyana Mittas, without Vinyus, it's very difficult for us to continue this Dhamma journey. So, may we be always in the company of Kalyana Mittas. May we always get the support from Kalyana Mittas to maintain, deepen our Dhamma practice. Thinking thus, we're going to make the wish. Imina punya kammena mami bala samagamu satang samagamu hotu yava nibbana pattiya. Finally, may all the good karmas which we've been accumulating today be supportive and helpful for all of us to attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Abhivadana silissa niccang vaddhapacha ino chattaru dhamma vaddhanti ayuvanno sukhang balang ayurarugya sampatti sagga sampatti mevacha atu nibbana sampatti iminati saminjatu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Right? That's the end of our morning talk. Now you are free to